On this episode of Extraordinary Women TV,
what does it take to become one of Toronto's top producing real estate agents? Well, my guest, Nicole Van Stone, is here to share with us. And if you are a single woman thinking about buying your first home, Nicole is going to give us some great tips to help you make the right choices. Well, Nicole, great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you are one of Toronto's top producing real estate agents. You're in the top 1%. There are many agents in this city, what, 35,000?
35,000 approximately.
So that's a lot of agents.
Downtown Toronto.
For you, what has it taken to become in that top 1%?
It's taken 12 years of hard work. And it's very difficult when you're a successful real estate agent. Your life is not really your own. You work for your clients 24/7. And it's also a full-time job. There are a number of agents who just do this part-time and it's not their full focus. So for me, I work Saturdays and Sundays. Sometimes my clients need something a little later in the evening. And definitely during the day, we have showings different times. But when people are free, that's when, usually it's after work or on weekends. So the one sacrifice is your time. But for me, I love my job so much, it just becomes part of my lifestyle.
A lot of people believe that it's easy to be a real estate agent and it would be easy to earn a living by selling homes. But if there are 35,000 agents in this city, is that the case?
It's not easy, and it seems easy, I guess, because of the education that needs to, that you first have to complete. It's not, 4 years of university, or it's quite easy to get in to actually get licensed. But the difficulty comes from knowing each building, knowing the developers, knowing the areas, just knowing your market, and also just knowledge of people. A lot of people think they can just go and be a real estate agent, but there's so much more to it. It's negotiating contracts, it's negotiating with sellers, with their agents, depending on whether it's with developers. It's knowing which buildings have something that might cause the maintenance fees to go higher, that might have structural damage. There's a lot of information that people don't realize that it's really important to have a realtor.
What's the process that one needs to go through to become a realtor, licensed realtor?
There's a 3-phase program. So phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Part of it you can do online. Part of it is with Ontario Real Estate Board or Canadian Real Estate Board, and also Toronto Real Estate Board. So once you complete the 3 courses, then you article for 2 years at a brokerage. So you get your license and then you work with a brokerage for 2 years. During that 2 years, you have a couple other courses that you need to complete, and then you become a licensed realtor.
It's quite involved then. You don't become a realtor overnight. It's not really so easy to just understand what it takes to buy and sell a house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not easy as just taking the course, definitely. And because there's so much competition, you have to really know your market, you have to be well known, you have to have experience, and you have to have a client base.
How do you get your client base?
A lot of people start with referrals from friends and family, and it all depends on what your social sphere of influence is, basically. So that's how you would get a client base, and then also referrals. So once you have your clients and then you work with them, if they like working with you, then they'll give you referrals. So that's another part of the business.
Now, you began your career not in real estate, but you were a stockbroker in finance.
Mm-hmm. I was assistant stockbroker, and I was at a company called York Securities on Bay Street. And it was high-powered, high-profile, very, very fast-paced. And I loved sales, but that's not exactly what I wanted to do. It's a very male-dominated industry, and you don't really have a relationship with your clients the way that I do in real estate.
Now, your mom was a big influence for you growing up, and your interest and desire in sales. has something to do with chocolate almonds.
My first realization of my love for sales and commission sales, basically, and being able to create wealth on your own without basically a salaried position, I guess you can say. Is 11 years old. I grew up with a single mom. There were 3 of us, and we couldn't afford a computer, so there was a contest at our school that you could win a computer over the Christmas holidays. You just had to sell the most chocolate almonds. So I went out and knocked on doors and sold double the chocolate almonds of any other student, and then I was able to have the computer over Christmas holidays. And so through that, I learned my work ethic, and I started working not too long after that. I started working at a young age, and we worked together, and I worked together with my mom, and we had a small inheritance from my grandmother, and we bought our first home. And that, we were able to move forward from subsidized housing, and it just showed me that it's possible when you start. It doesn't matter where you start, so long as you have determination and you have a goal, then you can get to that place. So
now I know that you've got some tips for women who want to buy a home for the first time, single women who are interested in home ownership for the first time. What would you say would be the most important thing that they need to know?
The most important thing is to get over your fear of commitment to a bank or commitment to debt. A lot of people have a fear because of student loans, because of credit card debt. They have this fear of debt. So in conjunction with that, get your finances in order. That's number one.
And then what would be the second?
Second would be, once you know well, talk to a mortgage broker, not just a bank, not just your own bank, but a mortgage broker that can go and find you so many different options. A lot of people go to a bank, and because they're so tight with their lending restrictions right now, you could get turned away, whereas if you were with a mortgage broker, they could find another product basically for you to have a mortgage through. So see a mortgage broker and get pre-approved so you have your value and you know what you can spend when you move forward to find a property.
So get your finances in order, don't be afraid of debt, find a mortgage broker, and then what else?
Find a real estate agent that works for you. Interview 3 or 4. With clients that come to me, I actually have a real estate team, and I work with 3 other agents, and also we have admin. And with that, I match the person specifically for their personality, and all of my agents have a lot of experience and knowledge about the area, but it's so important to have someone that you are comfortable with. And when you're going through it and they find you property, always make sure you keep an open mind, because you're never going to find the absolute perfect place. It's like a partner. You're never going to find someone who's absolutely perfect. There's always going to be something that, makes it more unique.
And now, the Good to Know Minute.
Okay, Nicole, it's time for my Good to Know Minute, and I know you've got a great success tip.
My success tip is to set goals, to have a goal and then work your plan and your path backwards to how you're going to get there. You don't take no for an answer, and you always ask. The worst thing that someone can say is no. So that's my 3-step tip.
And that's good to know. Well, Nicole, I've really enjoyed this time with you. Thank you so much for being here and sharing a bit about your career and your business.
Thank you so much.
If you would like to be a guest on Extraordinary Women TV, visit our website at ExtraordinaryWomenTV.com. I'd love to hear from you. Follow me on Twitter at Shannon_Skinner or on Facebook at Extraordinary Women TV. I'm Shannon Skinner. Join us next time for another episode of Extraordinary Women TV.